Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It's cold, really cold today. So cold we're almost breaking records. So what better time to test out our diesel heater that we got from VEVOR. Now this kit comes with almost everything you'll need to get this up and running. You got the diesel heater, the heater hose with an end piece so you can direct the heat in whichever direction that you want. You got your air filter, an air hose, your exhaust pipe with muffler and the attachments. And then you have some miscellaneous clamps for the heater hose, exhaust pipe, and air filter. Now there are a few important items that you might need depending on the application. The first thing is a power supply. The unit comes not wired, and I'm guessing that's because you could use it in a van build, camping setup, and whatever. So there's no point in them putting a plug because you might not actually need it. Bought this off of Amazon for about 12 bucks, and we're going to be using the 12 volt in our power station. If you're going to be using this heater in a rooftop tent, you're going to need to buy yourself some longer hose. The one that it came with is maybe 1.5 feet. Definitely not long enough. Now if you're putting it in a van or a build inside, this would probably do. So we bought this one. It's a black one. We picked up off of Amazon. It's about $30 to $50, and depending on which one you buy. It's 8 feet long, so this will definitely work great for what we're going to be mainly using this heater for. Now there's a lot of videos out there about this brand of diesel heater, and to be honest, it's definitely probably a 50-50 on they're good, they're not so good. And one common complaint is that the instructions are horrible. A lot of people say it looks like it was written by someone who doesn't speak English, and after reading it myself, yes, it's definitely hard to understand some things. And luckily there are pictures, so we'll be using those in today to hook everything up. So this manual is for 3 different units. This one here, this one, and then ours is this one here. I wanted to show you guys the unit without the cover on. That's the diesel heater, the fuel tank, the fuel pump, the plug-in with a fuse. That's it. Pretty simple. It's nice because this one does come with a remote. I heard that these are kind of, iffy. They do work, but they don't work, so we'll try that. And then the LCD screen. So you can tell some of the hardware is of a lower quality. The hose clamps, there was a couple that were a little difficult to tighten, and one was a reverse thread, which I've never seen before. So using a ratchet would have probably made this a little bit easier. And because this is just a test run, I'm not going to be doing a proper job wiring. I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way, twist the wires in together, throw some electrical tape over it, and if everything works out well, I'll properly come back and connect the wires properly. Okay, got this all hooked up. I will say that the clamps it came with aren't the greatest, and just the overall design is just kind of weird. Air hose, I feel like that's going to break if I bend it much more, but I will kind of worry about that a little bit later. I topped it up with in diesel. Powering it is going to be our Bluetti EB3A 600 watt power station. From the videos I've watched, this would turn on easier. I think it takes 15 amps, and these power stations are usually only 10. So I have heard that it does take sometimes a few tries to get them to start. If I do have trouble with that, I'm going to plug it into the truck just to see if that makes it any different. So the Bluetti is on. The display is on. Let's power it up here. Start heating. Okay, you can hear the fan. Let's check the power station here. So currently it's drawing about 74 watts, 75. That should go down once it's running. So as you can hear, it is cranking up a little bit. The pumping is and going faster. Still just cool air. Currently pulling 98 watts. I think I can hear the heater. Still cold air. The pump is quieter. Oh, there we go. Okay, the Bluetti is now down to about 58. We're getting some smoke like you're supposed to. Okay, 46. Supposedly these do smoke quite a bit on the first startup. Slowing down. Not smoking as much. That sounds like it's dying. Okay, I might have an error code here, so I'm going to try restarting it. So guys, after about 4 minutes, the fuel pump kicked on and started to prime itself, and about 2 minutes later we are getting now warm air. It's definitely not hot, but it's definitely warmer. It smoked a little bit, but other than that, so far it's working pretty flawlessly. Truck saying -13. Definitely think it's colder than that. So after running plugged into the truck for about 10 minutes, I thought, hey, the system should be warm enough. Plugged it into the Bluetti, and it's taken about 6 minutes to actually get going. It is pumping warm air now, and the voltage is now dropped to 46. So that just might be key to kind of run these, you know, especially if it is really cold. It's going to take a lot for that glow plug to get hot enough to ignite. So plugging it into your vehicle first and running it, you know, for 10 minutes or so, then to transfer it over to your power station is probably the best bet. But it's definitely in warming up. With this 600 watt power station, at this in wattage, it's going to run for about 5 hours, give or take. So hopefully that will drop. They should drop down to about 8 watts, 8 to 10 watts, I believe. So it's been almost 20 minutes. It's definitely blowing out nice warm air. We're still pulling 46 watts, but that's probably to be expected because it is so cold out. It's trying to get up to 10, and I have it cranked all the way. I'm sure if I lowered it down, let's try that. So I turned it all the way down to 8 degrees. It's definitely slowed way down, still blowing out warm air, and we're currently drawing about 30 watts. So we did go up in hours of runtime. At this rate, that basically would get you through a night's sleep. 8 degrees is definitely, you know, warmer than -13, but still could be possibly pretty chilly. But I think if it gets up to that 8 degrees, it should quiet down. But I just think this is almost too cold for one of these heaters. If you have a big power station, then this isn't going to be a problem. But if you're running a little 600 watt, well, you are going to be limited to how high you can run it. But if we got 7 hours at 8 degrees, that'd be pretty comfortable. Well, so what are my thoughts with this diesel heater? Well, it worked, and that's the main thing you want to happen. Could it be better? Yes, there are a few things that, you know, in design wise, the clamps could definitely be a little bit better quality, but it works, and that's what you want. And again, for the price, you can't be too picky. Now, why some people might get a bad product, you got to remember that it's getting shipped. I'm sure you've got products shipped to your house that have been damaged. We've all seen those videos on YouTube of the guys kicking around the boxes, throwing them in the back of the truck. So is it the company's fault or the shipper's fault? So make sure you keep that in mind when you get a product, because you know what? It might not be the actual product's fault. It could just be how it got shipped here. So would I recommend a VEVOR heater? You know what? Yes. For the price, I think this one is about $168 on their website. You really can't go wrong. About as cheap as a buddy heater, and this is a lot more safer than a propane heater inside your vehicle. So if you want to spend more, you're going to get more, and remember that. That's our video for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.